Hello everyone and welcome to the Action Figuratorium. Who am I? Well, my name is Mark Major and I'm a real big toy collector here in Southeast Portland. I'm also one of these old school marketing guys. You know the type. Maybe you don't know the type. Doesn't matter, that's who I am. And today I'm going to be doing one of these old school marketing guy videos because yes, we have another Kickstarter launch, and this time it's an action figure campaign for 1/12 scale action figures. That's like every single one these days. I've covered these guys before in the past with some of their Kickstarters. It's the Wandering Planet guys. They do action figures for that 60s sort of cool BBC show, The Prisoner. For those of you who are unaware of that show, maybe you should become aware of that show. It's a pretty good show. It's got some pretty cool meta stuff going on. In fact, I'm probably going to talk a little bit about the show in some context today, and I think it's going to be a good time. So everybody, come together, strap on the leather. That's right. Hold on tight. Now, I always like to bring out these sort of objective best practices of marketing for action figure Kickstarters. And let me just say that the campaign we're going to look at today does not follow these best practices. It's kind of a different sort of campaign. I'm going to get into that, but let's look at these best practices because you're not going to see them in this campaign. Here we go, people. First thing, as always with these, is 3-tier pricing, something standard, something deluxe, something luxury. Second of all, the wider the selection just tends to be you got more sales. How does that work? And then, of course, you want to collate all of your sales material on your Kickstarter. Don't put in all these different places. Throw your best punch right there on the Kickstarter. Have everything ready to go and roll it out as you go. Now, let's check out their Kickstarter. This is from, I mentioned, Wandering Planet. Here's what's interesting about this. They're only trying to get $36,000. To me, that's like not even a single buck. It could be that they have substantial amount of money from the previous Kickstarters, or they have some kind of magic tooling to where they don't need the typical $100,000 for a single character. They only need the $36,000. And they're almost there. They've just launched today. That's when I'm covering. Well, actually, you're going to be watching this the day after, so it's going to be 2 days when you see this video from when they launched, and they've already got $29,000. I'm pretty sure they're going to clear it, and they've cleared all their other ones. But let's just see what it is. For those of you that are unaware of the show, The Prisoner, it's, again, the execution is a little bit wonky because it's from the Summer of Love, England. But the concept is this. It's a secret agent, and he is like a James Bond guy, and he's getting out of the game. He's leaving the game. I'm no longer an agent. I'm out of the game. I'm getting out. Well, the problem is that you can never leave. And so as he puts in his resignation, he's sort of drugged with some kind of a gas, and he wakes up on some kind of a magic island place that you can't ever leave. If you try to leave, a giant beach ball comes and rolls you over. But the thing about this island that he's on, it's known as the Village, and it's all little small, kind of like a bunch of gazebos and huts, and it's like a tourist place in Switzerland or something. He lives in this like kind of magical village land, and there's a bunch of people in there with him. Here's the thing. Are they people who are also trapped? Or are they actors? Because he was a secret agent for many years and they're trying to get information from him. That's kind of the whole point of the show. Now, here's what makes the show meta. The guy who played prisoner number 6, right? Patrick McGoohan. His previous acting role was he played a secret agent, and he felt that he was typecast at this point in his career to where he was always going to be typecast as this kind of James Bond secret agent. So The Prisoner is the fact that he couldn't, as an actor, leave that role behind. He had to continually play that character, and he came up with this idea called The Prisoner. See, as an actor, he's prisoned into this typecast role. So that's him there on the right, and that's his antagonist on the left, who's always trying to get information from him. So it's basically a Kickstarter for these two guys. and they're in the 1/12 scale. They have pretty good articulation. They come with some extra parts, and they come with a base and an extra head, and they come in a package. And, you know, it looks cool, let's admit it. Now, here's what I want to tell you guys. These guys, the Wandering Planet people, they did a couple other Kickstarters before for 4-inch versions of these guys. Of the Prisoner, they did a Wave 1, very successful. People loved it. There was clapping. I clap. Why not? And then they did Wave 2. Guess what? Also successful. Also more clapping. I also clapped. Why wouldn't I? If I clap for one, I'm going to clap for the second wave. Doesn't make sense not to clap. And that's basically what this is the same two figures from the other waves, but blimped up from the 4-inch figure to the 6-inch figure. And you know why? Cash grab. They smell money. A lot of people said, I love The Prisoner, even though, again, execution, it's kind of a goofy show, but the meta concept is awesome. But people said, I love, you know, if you could do a 1/12 scale, I'll buy, and take my money. And so they said, you know what? And they went to the CAD drawing, and they went, and there you go. Now, those 4-inch guys, they're very much sort of Super 7 reaction, 5 points of articulation, Funko tchotchke type characters. But people loved them. It was their chance to get their favorite weird, wacky 60s British TV show in action figure form. And I don't, you know, if that's what you want to put your money into, that's what you put your money into, all right? Who am I to say no? And so this is basically the same thing, but they're just going to like blimp up the scale of a couple guys, not doing the whole line, just the 2 guys that are guaranteed to get sales, and they're going to sell those 2 guys. Because if we go to rewards, what is it? $62 for this figure. $62. Now, he does have better articulation. It is a bigger action figure, but $62. Damn. And let's say you want the other guy. Also $62. Holy cow. If you want them both, that would be $130. Okay. But you do get a lunchbox. So... And 173 people have already went in. Only 3 people want the weird guy. And only 39 people want this guy. I wonder if there's some people who said, no, I don't want the lunchbox. I'll take this dude for 62 and this guy for 62. I bet you there's some people. You can also just throw a buck at them and say, look, don't call me, I'll call you. I might do that because I don't really want to spend $62 on a Patrick McGowan figure. But this is what they're cooking up. And I gotta say, totally different from the best practices thing, totally different thing. This is simply, there was enough people screaming at them that said there's demand if we make a couple of these guys and we kind of overcharge them. We charge a lot of money for these figures and we have a really low threshold of $36,000. We can make this happen. It's a different kind of marketing thing. This is a very sort of narrow, specific, like you want it or you don't want it. If you want it, you're willing to pay. And people said they're willing to pay. And I wonder what would happen if they lowered the price to even something like $40. Would they maybe sell a lot more of these? Would they, you know, and how high, what are they at? $30,000. It went up while I was talking. And how high do you guys think this is going to go? Do you think they're going to hit $50,000? I bet they do. Are they going to hit $100,000? Not with only 2 figures. That's nutso. No one's going to do that. No one said that's happening. But I bet you they clear $50,000. And if they do, good on them. You know, they've done a couple successful campaigns. And this is clearly going to hit the money. And it's going to go a little up past it. And who knows? There's probably going to be some people out there who are just diehard fans will spend the money. There's going to be some people out there who just say, this is really one-of-a-kind, weird action figure. I'm going to get one of these. Now, is the Big Bad Toy Store or some of those guys going to put in on something like this? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe if it funds, they might say, you know what, I'll take a couple of those. But I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the Patrick McGowan action figures. And, you know, The Prisoner. Have you seen The Prisoner TV show? Iron Maiden made a song about it. It's called called The Prisoner. It's pretty good. It's on their Number of the Beast album. You guys should check that song out. That's your homework for the week. So thanks to everybody who made it this far into the video. I do appreciate it. You should, of course, like and subscribe when you get time. And you don't have to do it right now. Come back. Maybe come back tomorrow. Maybe rewatch tomorrow and see what the number's at and compare it. But please do like and subscribe on your own time. But meantime, me and you, what we're going to do, fist in the air, people, stay charged. Here we go.